on location from my kitchen. And these days, that really is a location because, you know, COVID. Anyway, we are doing our very, very first cooking segment. I am so excited and a little bit terrified, but mostly excited. I'm having a little red moment. So guys, I'm so excited. We are going to hop across the pond to London, England to join our friend Natasha O'Brien, who has been doing Cooking with Tash on Wednesdays on social media. And we've been following along and I thought, oh my gosh, let's bring her on. Let's make something that is easy, that is cost effective, and that is warm and hearty in all kinds of fall. So please welcome to our show, Natasha O'Brien in London, England. Hi.
How's it going, guys?
Welcome. Cheers. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Canadian?
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
I picked I'm not a big pumpkin spice person, but I picked a pumpkin porter. I like alliteration, iron, and beer. So this is for our recipe today. And
I respect jack-o'-lantern representation.
You know, it's a terrifying, it's like me in the morning before makeup. I feel very seen. Thanks for joining us. This is so exciting. We've never done anything like this before.
Thanks for having me, babe. I'm really
Our absolute pleasure. So you've been doing a cooking segment online on Wednesdays during the pandemic, and you know, I think we've all kind of honed in on our home cooking and home all the things because that's the only place we're allowed to be right now. Yeah. But what kind of sparked the idea to do a weekly cooking segment? That's exciting.
Well, to be honest with you, like I've always loved cooking, and for the longest time, whenever I would be cooking is sort of a hobby of mine, and it's a very chilled out thing for me. Sort of just something I would do on a Sunday for kicks. And I love taking pictures of gorgeous produce. We have Riverford is sort of like a veg box delivery company that you can get here in the UK, and we would get a delivery of stunning local seasonal veg every Tuesday. And I would just sort of take pics of what I got and then be inspired to make something and take pics as I was cooking and then take pics of the, you know, this is what happens with Instagram, isn't it? You just end up taking pics of everything. But it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And then a few people, my husband and a few friends were like, you should just do a cooking show on Instagram already. Just cooking with Tash, just do it. So I decided for Canada Day to do a poutine cooking with Tash. That was sort of like the soft launch.
It looks so good.
Yeah, just a sensible soft launch with poutine, the best we could do in the UK anyway. And then I decided that sort of as like a creative, just to hold myself creatively accountable. Once a week, I was going to whack the camera on and cook something. And it's been really fun. It's been 15, 16 weeks now, and it's just, you know, it's a really good time. And then sometimes I have other West End guests on, you know, colleagues of mine, former castmates or whomever, and we just talk shit and drink and cook something random. Maybe it's related to the show. Do you know what I mean? Like I've done sort of a Mamma Mia related one and a Falsettos related one, and or maybe not. Maybe we just drink wine and cook something, and it always ends up being a good time.
I love that so much, and I love, like we've talked to a lot of people about leaning into things that are not necessarily career related, but like soul filling related, and I feel like that's kind of what this has been for you.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, that's exactly how it feels. Like it's sort of cooking and baking for me has always been sort of performance-free creativity. And now I suppose there's sort of an element of voyeurism with the camera being on. There's an element of performance, but really it's still just like something satisfying for me to do. I mean, I have to make food for dinner anyway. So, you know, there's nothing unnecessary about it. It's just putting the camera on and having a chat. And then if anybody wants to cook along, I give them a little heads up the day before what we're going to make. And then it's proven to be a really good time.
I love that. That's great. I think, and also like a lot of us, because we're spending so much more time at home and we're trying to, you know, be cost efficient and kind of keep ourselves occupied, I think a lot of people are cooking more and baking more. I mean, I don't know how we procured this bag of flour back when the pandemic started. So buy it now before it all disappears, because today's recipe has flour. Today we're going to be making sweet potato gnocchi.
Yes, I've never made it before either. So like we're going to fail together. It's going to be fantastic.
So we were talking, we were like, what can we make together that's like fall, that's hearty, that's kind of, you know, inexpensive to make, kind of simple. I say that now. I can barely make right? We'll see how it goes. And we're going to post the recipe, so if anyone wants to try it out, they can. So, I mean, all right, cheers. Let's see how this goes. We're going to make it. We're going to do it. All right, here we go.
Okay, so to start, you gotta pierce your sweet potatoes with a fork. So get some sweet potatoes. I recommend maybe 1 sweet potato per person, depending on size. Look at that sensibly sized sweet potato. Well done, Walls.
It's a very
What?
I said it's very sensibly sized.
A sensibly sized sweet potato. You want to pierce it with a fork. You want to give it a rinse under a tap. Make sure all the dirt is off of it, and then wrap that wet sweet potato in a paper towel and pop it in the microwave for like 6-7-ish minutes until it's squishy. You need the
That's
squishy.
a brilliant hack. Like I would never have thought to wrap it in the paper towel so it doesn't get all dried out. You know.
Babe, take this fork into your life because first of all, complex carbohydrate. I mean, a sweet potato, she'll take you far. Like if you need energy for an evening performance, sweet potato your life up because
they're breaking your blood sugar. They balance out your blood sugar too, right?
So good. So good. Honestly, a sweet potato before a show, I may as well have had it like a double espresso. Like sweet potato, maybe an apple. Look out, she's 35. This is what happens. You get really excited about root veg, kids. Look out.
Guys, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Get excited about good food. All right, so our sweet potato is warm and mushy.
Just like take a spoon and empty all your contents into a bowl. That's what you got to do.
Great. Okay, great.
Don't knock your wine over. Be careful. Sensible.
Oh no. So we took a week off last week because I had to have surgery and I was on mushy food for about a week. So my sweet potatoes are left over from my mushy food diet, but like this is the kind of mushy food I can get behind.
I was gonna say, like, are you over the sweet potatoes? We should have picked something else.
Never.
Okay.
I rekindled my love for it because like it's a food that you can feel good about eating and it fills you up and it like you can do so many
country, man. Totally. Flavor country. I didn't prepare all of the recipes that I have seen online. It's approximately 1 cup of flour to 1 sweet potato.
Okay.
But it doesn't specify the size of the sweet potato.
I feel like we're having a waitress moment. Butter, flour, potatoes.
Sugar, butter, flour. Yeah. So I think we have to be a little bit, we just have to put our thinking hats on this bowl.
Okay.
I'm going to grab my cup. I've got 5 sweet potatoes in this bowl, but I don't believe that I'm going to put 5 cups of flour in here.
For those quarantining solo, I have 1, so I got your back. For those who are quarantining in a company, Tash has got your back.
Yeah.
I want to say we got you in whatever configuration of life you're in right now. What was going on in your life when the whole thing kind of just went toe up?
So actually, it was the middle of audition season. Where I was doing, I wasn't on contract.
Okay.
When
you were in that magical time of between one and the other that we all love so much.
So I had just finished falsettos at the end of last year at Christmas, and then January came around, and I was chilling. I was teaching yoga and auditioning. February came around. I was chilling, teaching yoga, auditioning, and then I decided to fly down to Australia and my sister who had just had a baby.
Oh wow, okay.
And I was really humming and hawing about whether or not to do it because it was the height of audition season.
Right.
My agent originally was kind of like, are you sure this show and this show and this show are seeing people at this time? And, you know, we're going to want to get you in for this, that, the other, rah, rah, rah. And I was like, I have to go see my niece. Like, it's the first baby in the family. I got to do it. You know what I mean? And I went for it. I fucking went for it. And I'm really thankful I did because turns out there is no year. There is no season. Like, it was all for naught.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow. What a crazy, like, I'm so glad that you did that. And it's such a, like, it's such a, like, struggle, right? Weighing out my life expectations versus career expectations.
And I feel like a lot of the time we are all too eager to sacrifice life stuff for the sake of our work.
Mhm.
And it's quite normalized. And the truth is, it doesn't have to be. Like, I mean, sometimes it feels like it has to be, but like, again, I'm just so thankful that I didn't, because otherwise, I mean, I'm certainly not able to fly to Australia now and visit my brand new base. Like, I'm so glad I had that experience. Then when I got back, so I was in Australia when things were like when toilet paper gate was getting started. So let's have a look at your dough. Let's have a look at your potato dough.
Okay, how am I doing?
Really good. So mine is, I feel like it's too floury. So what I'm going to do in this situation is toss an egg in. That's what I'm going to do.
Because I was going to ask, like, the reason, so I feel like pasta is really close to, like, I don't bake because baking is such a, like, mathematical science. Also, my friend Sarah Strange is the best baker ever, so I'd rather just pay her to do it.
Your friend who?
Sarah Strange. She has a company, her own company called Strange Pies, and she's like the real.
I love that. That's amazing.
Right? But this, and I was gonna ask because I have one sweet potato and I put 1 cup of flour, but I didn't use it all because I'm like, I'm gonna mess this up. So, so if you do over flour, you add an egg. That's the kind of recovery.
Well, this is what I'm trying to do because I'm making this recipe for the very first gosh darn time ever. I just think egg is a binder. And I have a lot of flour going on here, and so I've decided to go for it. I've thrown an egg in. Some recipes call for egg. Other recipes say you don't need it. But already with that one single egg put in, I can see a difference in my dough, so I feel like it was the right color. Okay. But definitely salt your water. Okay. This is what I'm doing right now. We're going to salt our water. All right. So anyway, so yeah, London, the West End is definitely on pause. Equity is sort of in the middle of trying to negotiate something between the Society of London Theatres, SALT, and West End, trying to find some kind of middle ground where we can all feel like we're back to work and we're doing our job. We're not being completely taken advantage of, but the industry is able to maintain a sustainable performance schedule of some modified sort. It's exceptional times, I'll say that much.
Yeah. It's all kind of like a free fall, eh? It's like every day is kind of a different day on the barricade, so to speak.
Yeah. Oh, all right, so once you have smushed your sweet potato and your flour and potentially your egg because you didn't measure the flour properly together, you'll have something that looks like this.
Okay, so I think it might be too tacky. Like, you know when you like put on fake eyelashes and you let it get tacky so it doesn't run in your eye?
We don't want that.
I feel like it needs to be more dry. Yeah,
a little bit air on the drier side, but also not too dry. You can also sprinkle some flour onto your countertop. Excellent. And then I recommend cutting that into 4 pieces. Boom shakalaka.
You're putting that all into 4 pieces. Okay, awesome. Okay, I think we're at a good place now. All right,
so we have a sweet little dough, and then we're gonna roll it out into like a long tube-like, cinder, snaky-like kind of thing. So just roll it out. This is what I saw on the internet.
God, this takes me. See, whoever said that Play-Doh vibes. This is why kids need to play with Play-Doh, because I'm having, not only do I feel like I have the skill, but now I'm going to this like nostalgic place of my childhood, which I love because it makes me happy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So keep rolling this business out until you get to a point where it's like, I don't know, maybe like an inch in diameter, slightly under an inch, maybe like a centimeter and a half. Do you know what I mean? That kind of.
It looks like I'm having like Tremor vibes here, like the movie Tremors, or like.
Yeah, Honey P. I'm picking up what you put down. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we have snake vibe. This is what we've got here. We've got this snake.
How'd I do?
Yeah, perfect.
Fact check my work. Okay, so we've got a snake of sweet potato goodness.
A snake of sweet potato goodness, and then you want to cut it like little inch-long pieces.
Okay. Little
inch-long pieces. They look like large Nibs? Am I wrong in saying nibs? Do you
No,
remember?
nibs. That's exactly it. What is the like equivalent of? Do you have nibs in England? Because I feel like I couldn't
No.
survive without them.
Send nibs, please. Because we don't, and I'm sad about it. All right. So then, here's the thing. This is what we want to do. There's this thing that we do where we want to roll. Have a look, Jen, because what we want to do is we want to roll this little piece of sweet potato goodness along the fork, and we get this like cool texture.
That's how that happens.
That's how that happens. According to the internet, that's how that happens. So roll it along.
Okay.
Roll it along the internet fork. Give it a little bit of texturoni. And all this really is, to be fair, all any texture is on any pasta is like sort of an enabling of the pasta to absorb sauce and flavor, to like hold a bit more flavor.
You also do yoga.
Yeah.
And like you were teaching that before the world went squirrely, but now you're doing it online as well. And it's like, I don't do yoga myself, but I think I need to start. But it's such a like beautiful vibe that you've got. Tell us about like where can people find your yoga classes online? Because I think that's so important, like breathing. And we've had some people on the show. Well, one that does like meditation and yoga, because I think it's so important, like mindfulness right now, whatever you can do to kind of stay grounded. So where do people find that? When do you do it? Tell us all the things.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So I've been teaching yoga for about 7 years now. The best decision I've ever made was to do my yoga teacher training. I teach in central London, and I have private clients and stuff like that. And throughout lockdown, I just thought it was really important to provide some yoga online for anybody who was, well, I just think it's, a little bit of meditation, a little bit of breath work. If there's just for mental health, for physical health, especially for so many of my mates who had completely lost all sense of income. It was just important, and Instagram kind of provided me with this platform to put some classes up. So every day I did a class, or around every day I did a class around lunchtime, just like a half-hour slow, just to suit my mood, really. And they're all still there on my IGTV. So if you want to go back and check them out and practice my classes, go for it. But now I teach in town. I'm in central London teaching at a few different studios, and those classes, some of them are live streamed. It's on Dig Me Fitness. So if you want to check out Dig Me Fitness, you can, and you can sign up for Dig Me at Home and check out my online yoga classes for them. There are live classes, and I think there are a few pre-recorded. There's a bit of pre-recorded content on there as well. But I mean, anywhere you can find some online classes. I think it's really important to just make time for yourself. Like, no matter what you're doing, if it's cooking, or if it's going for a walk, or if it's yoga, or if it's whatever, like just making the time to breathe and focus on a simple task is so important. And I love yoga. It serves a huge purpose in my life. And I guess that's about it. That's all I really have to do.
This is for Instagram, you guys. If you want to find her to do some yoga or find some other delicious recipes, so get on the gram.
Get on the gram. What's going to happen is we're going to toss these tasty little morsels of flavor town into the boiling water.
All right.
And when you rise to the top, that means they are done. So they're only in there for a minute, like really not very much time at all. And then we're going to scoop them out with a slotted spoon. Do you have a slotted spoon?
I've got one. Sorry,
if you
I had an accent, I didn't mean to.
If you don't stress. Just get a regular spoon and try to get, just the gnocchi. I've got my water on to boil right now. It will be boiling shortly.
Oh, okay.
And so my gnocchi is currently just piled up on my kitchen counter. I'm putting a significant amount of butter in that pan because I believe life is now. And then I'm going to put some garlic in and the sage. Well, I've always loved crosswords, but lately, since the top of the pandemic, actually, when I went to Australia, I bought my first book of New York Times crosswords. I started with the Mondays, and then, I've got garlic and sage and butter in this pan. That's what's happening in this pan right now.
How do you do your garlic? Did you just like chop it up, like slice
I
it?
minced it. You mince that garlic, boo. Mince it up.
Mincing, okay.
Chop it fine. Get crazy. I'm gonna start putting the gnocchi in the water. Let's go pan wash. What's happening down here? Boom. So anyway, yeah. So I've been deep into the New York Times crossword puzzles. I started with the Mondays when I went to Australia and Fed, and then now I'm on to the Saturdays.
Oh, which Saturday's like the big one, right?
They're not fucking around with those Saturdays. I'm like, who knows what any of the answers to these questions are? Like, are you trying to make me feel like shit about myself?
Yeah, thanks for making me feel stupid. Thanks.
Actually, I'm like, nobody knows who that person is. You're a dick. Also, that's not a word. Like,
That's not you made that up, sir.
sure. Can I talk to Mr. Times? Because this is bullshit. Turn your butter sage pan down to minimum so you don't burn anything.
Right.
All you have to do is like activate those aromatics, yo.
Oh.
That's all we're trying to do.
It smells so freaking good. Oh my god, I am gonna eat this entire thing.
It's flavor time. I'm gonna grate some parm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bought mine pre-grated because I'm not that great at this.
That's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and grate some fresh Parmesan because I'm fancy as fuck.
You are super.
Oh, yes. Definitely have some gnocchi rolling to a boil, which is good news. And then I'm literally gonna take it from the pot.
Okay, I'm ready.
And chuck it pretty much basically directly into the pan. But I'm just waiting to make sure that it is all cooked.
Okay. So
You
when
might back if you're cooking for like a number of people. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So once they're all at the top, then you can transfer it into the butter.
Yeah, that's my feeling.
Okay. I'm gonna, because I have significantly less than yours. I have so much less than you do because I'm cooking for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna go for it.
Let's start chucking the pan. We're gonna hear a sizzle, and that's a good thing because we want to get a little bit of brown on them. We want to get a little bit of color, a little bit of vibes. We want a vibe going. We want a vibe.
This is awesome.
Yeah, things are happening in my kitchen for sure.
Yeah, I think this is the most I've ever done in my kitchen.
Give it a little shaky shake. Definitely crank that butter up. Get a color and a vibe. And there's definitely some brown butter business happening on this gnocchi. Oh, fuck yeah. This looks legit. This looks like an Instagram video. This is fine. We're good. We're good. We're rocking a salt and pep, a sensible, freshly ground salt and pep. This pepper grinder sucks. Every time I do cooking with Tash, I say I'm going to change my pepper grinder, and then I never change my pepper grinder. So here we are getting the backup pepper grinder out. Grind pepper, get it in there as much as you like. Be liberal. Be not afraid. Give it a little toss. I feel like things are happening here. I kind of want to go in for a little bite, a little test. Let's see what's happening. Oh, maybe I want to put another sage leaf in. Go for it. Just chuck it in. And that's what I'm going to serve the people in my house. This is what I'm going to serve them right here.
That looks incredible. I just
Not bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever fed people.
I think it's great. I think it's great. So it's 3 ingredients. It's literally sweet potato, flour, butter, and then if you want to get fancy or experimental, Parmesan is so good on it. Garlic, sage. We're gonna put some stuff like the recipe in our Facebook afterwards if you want to make it. But really, flour, sweet potato, mix it till it's like a dough. Roll it, cut it, roll it again. Put a bunch of butter in a pan, and then just that
right there. It's the butter in a pan that's gonna send it home. Like, oh
my God. Really, I think the original lyrics for Waitress was butter, 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 because oh my God,
absolutely, exactly.
Oh my gosh,
that's that, yo.
I love it. All right, I'm gonna stuff my face. Tash is gonna make her next batch because she's a beautiful human who is cooking for a bunch of people. Thank you so much for joining us. It was so good to see you and chat with you, and all the best across the pond in London. And if you want to find Tash for her cooking segments or her yoga, find her on Instagram there. They're there. And we're going to follow up and post everything you need. So good to see you. Thank you for this delicious, delicious gift of beautiful, beautiful food.
Thanks for joining, babe.
Yeah. Let's do this again sometime.
Okay, deal.
Okay. Awesome. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.